Welcome to TruPowur, home of the most powerful marketing tools, training, and technology on planet Earth. Get ready to earn, enjoy, and experience more than you ever dreamed was possible. If you're tired of just getting by and ready to really thrive, then buckle in and listen up. Here's your host, Matt Fox.
Hello and welcome this fine day. Today on TruPowur Academy, we are going to be talking about and delving a little bit into how to calculate a fixed all-in rate for a residential customer and what things to look at and what things to look out for when doing those calculations so that you can offer the best deal for your customer, ensuring that they get the best deal possible. So without any further ado, let me share my screen and let's jump right into it. All right. What information do we need to gather from the bill to see if we can offer the customer a much better rate? First off, we need the zip code of the customer. That's on the bill, right? The annual usage, not just the monthly, but the annual usage. And what is the rate that the customer is paying per kWh? So let's take a look at the bill to see what we find. So here I have a bill for us to take a look at. If we blow that up, let's come down here. We can see that the amount that this customer is currently paying is $735. It's a pretty good amount. And so we're going to come down to where we get some additional information on that customer to be able to analyze exactly how much that customer is currently paying. So we can see that right here where the graph is on the bill, you can see down here in the bottom, it says $22,345. That is how much the customer is using per year. So right now they're averaging a little over $1,800 or 1,800 kWh per month, but the annual usage is 22,345. So we're going to take note of that. And then we can also see over here on the right-hand side that the price to compare is 6.22 cents per kWh. So we have the zip code. That's 19103. That's for that particular bill. We have the usage, which is 22,345, and the rate is 6.22 cents. So let's take a look at the results in the pricing platform. So from the quick lunch menu, we're going to click on the third link here, which says TruPowur residential pricing. So when we click on that, it is going to open up the pricing platform that is available to everybody at TruPowur.com. Obviously, if you're putting in a customer's information, you want to be sure and put in your sales code so that way you will get credit for it. But we're just going to go ahead and put the zip code for this particular customer, which is for Pico. This is not the supplier, that's the utility. So we're going to click Get Rates. And then we know that the customer uses 22,345 kWh per year. And according to that bill, they're getting a rate at 6.22 cents. So we're going to requote that to update the system. So when we come down here, you can see that there is absolutely no savings available. So why is that? Aren't we able to offer much better deals? Doesn't the market update say that we should be focusing on Pennsylvania right now or another location? So the real issue is this 6.22 cents. is that the real rate that they're paying? Well, let's take a look at that. Obviously, the results are not that great. So, how can we provide a better deal? Let's take a look at it with a fixed all-in rate. So, what do we need to do, or what do we need to create compare a fixed all-in rate? So, we need the zip code. We've got that. We've got the annual usage. We got that. That's 22,000. But now we need the fixed all-in rate equivalent. So, what does that mean? Well, that equivalent is going to be based on how much they spent over the entire deal. So, well, how do we find out what the fixed all-in rate equivalent is? Well, what it is the total of the bill, which is $735. That's the amount of the bill. And then we need to have the total usage for the month that represents that $700. 2,892 kWh. That's the usage for the month. So how do we calculate the rate for the fixed all-in equivalent? Well, we divide the dollars of the bill by the total usage. So we're going to take that $735 and divide it by the 2892, which is the kWh, which is going to tell us that it is not 6.22 cents, but 25.4 cents. So you're looking at it in dollars and cents. That's 25 cents or 25.4 cents. So now let's take a look at what is available when we use 25.4. So we come back to the pricing platform and we're going to enter that 25.4 and hit update. Now, when we come down, there's a column that has now appeared that was not available before. So now we can see there's actually savings. Now, some things that I want to point out here, we're using what is considered a fixed all-in comparable or equivalent, right? And so you want to make sure that you're not going to provide something to the customer that appears to be good, but then ultimately ends up perhaps even potentially costing them additionally. So what you want to do is come right up here, like right here is the best deal, 7.29. It's only for 9 months, but if we click on the details, we can see that it says your rate will stay fixed no matter how much energy you consume. But it doesn't say that it is a fixed all-in rate. It just says the rate will stay fixed no matter how much energy you consume. And so we want to look at the terms and conditions. That's available right there. And it is also available right here. So when you click on that, it is going to open up the terms and conditions. So let me blow that up to make that a little easier to see. So if you look at this, the general price and various usage levels. So even though that says that it's a much better deal at 7.29, it has some variables in there. In other words, everything up to 500 kWh per month, the customer is going to be paying 11.29 cents. Up to 1,000 kWh is going to be 9.29, and then 2,000 and greater is going to be 8.29. So it's really important that you understand that you give the customer the right information. And so when you're looking at these comparables, I might come down to where you see where it says fixed all in. That's going to be a little more true. So this rate stays fixed no matter how much the energy you consume. You can look at the terms of the agreement. You don't end up with that same kind of deal that you had before. So we want to make sure that we're doing the right thing for the customer. Now, obviously, with a fixed all in at 9.9, it saves the customer about $288. So that would be the best thing to take advantage of. So When you're talking to the customer, it's valuably important that you're weighing in all of those things so that you know exactly how to create a fixed all-in equivalent, and so that you know you're comparing apples, oranges to oranges. And so again, from the quick lunch menu, right here under link number 3, residential pricing. This is the front of the platform. Anybody can access that. That's open to the general public because it also does commercial as well, but you don't have any control over it through the front of the platform. So typically for you and I, we typically only do residential through the front of the platform, and all of our commercial through the back of the platform. So here you can do residential, electric, and natural gas. You can do small business, large business. Either way, for us, and in this course, we want to make sure that we're focusing on the residential in this lesson. So residential through the front of the platform. When you get ready to do commercial, so right here under link number 4 is the back office where you enter commercial deals. Now, when you put in the sales code, that ensures that when you put that deal through, it's going to show up in your back office. Otherwise, it's just going to look like somebody came to TruPowur without your assistance and put in a deal, and it'll end up being a house account. If by chance you accidentally put a deal in, just let support know. They can transfer it over to you. Obviously, you're going to have information about that customer that nobody else is going to have. So it just takes a little more effort, and it's kind of just puts more workload on support, and they're busy as it is. So ultimately, at the end of the day, we want to make sure that we're providing value for the customer and giving them the best opportunity to save. Obviously, the bigger the value, the more yeses you get. The more yeses you get, the more revenue you make. So everybody is happy. So I appreciate everybody being on the call today. And like always, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. So have fun storming the castle. Bye now.